Good morning, class. Let me just make sure this is working. Okay, I think it is. Hey, my name is Mr. Smoot, and I'm your teacher for the PE. This is the second semester that I'm teaching online. I think the first semester went all right. Just for the record, uh, there was a lot of disgruntled students, especially if you had myself or Mr. Query last year, where we got to go outside and do PE at the parks. Just so you guys know, that wasn't our decision to change that. Just administration felt that going on totally online would kind of benefit the Odyssey program, and it also allowed Coach Curry and myself to be on campus every day of the week to kind of help out here. So not our decision. I at first didn't like it, but got used to it and thought the online class went fairly well. Here's a couple things. The online class is actually kind of two parts. The first part is like a knowledge-based part where we go through and we learn different activities, and we learn some of the history of the activities, the skills on how to play the activities, and some of the current events on the activities, and a lot of that would be quote-unquote like book work. And then another aspect of the class is the participation part. The participation part in the PE is I ask the students to just ask you guys to work on two goals during the a month, and you work on those two goals by doing PE activities, by doing any kind of activity that increases your heart rate. And what you guys do is you log those activities. Now, the book portion of this class, there's not really any due dates associated with it. You guys have the whole semester to get those done. The participation points, the PE logs, the the goals part, all of that is there's timeliness to it. So they need to be done when I give the assignment. The week that I give the assignment, that's when these things are due. And hopefully you guys understand that. I know a lot of the courses here at Odyssey, you don't have any due dates, but for this portion of the class, the participation portion of the class, you have due dates. All right. Email me if you don't quite understand that, or maybe you don't agree with it, or whatever the case might be. All right. I don't want to be long-winded here because I want to just if you're long-winded, then the students kind of tune you out. But like I said, this is the second semester. I think the first semester went all right. Here's a couple of the last assignment in the first semester. I asked the students to kind of give me their honest assessment of how they thought the class went. It went pretty well. They liked the fact that they learned about different sports and different activities that we did. We learned some current events about them. We learned some skills. We learned some rules. They liked that. And then most of the students liked the fact that they could they could kind of pick their own activity to participate in to get their PE log points. A couple things that the students didn't like. A lot of the students didn't like how they had to do the PE on their own. There was no, the class never met, so we never got to play. They never got to play, for instance, flag football with their class or basketball with the class, and they didn't like that aspect. They didn't like just kind of being out there by themselves, having to do everything by themselves. And that's a interesting fact. You have to be very motivated to get all of your PE log minutes, which the first semester was 300 minutes gave you max points. This semester, I think I'm going to cut it down to 225 minutes gives you max points. And here's the other fact that some of my students didn't like. They said, well, Coach Smoot, I mean, people can just cheat on their log. And you know what? Sometimes I can tell, and sometimes I dock points, but you know what? That's true. It's hard to tell if people are cheating. And here's what I want to say to some of the individuals that were maybe upset a little bit because they're like, hey, I'm really doing my time, but Johnny over here, I know he's falsifying his PE log. Here's the deal. Nothing I can do about it, nothing you guys can do about it. If people want to falsify their log, guess who they're hurting? They're hurting themselves because they're really not getting any PE activity. And it might not catch up to them, in the next day, in the next week, even maybe the next year. But if somebody's going to be lazy and they're not going to get any physical, workout, it'll catch up to them, and it'll only affect them. So I kind of understand. I feel your pain. I would say the same thing. It would make me upset too, but just gotta kind of deal with the cards that we are dealt, and PE online is here to stay. One thing I'll leave you with: What we did last semester and what we might try to do this semester is we might try to go outside maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, meet at Desert Breeze, kind of get the class together. The only thing is we need to get feedback from Mr. Query and I need to get feedback from you guys because we did that first semester and we did it for about a month, month and a half, and we had a lot of interest from old PE students, students that were out of their PE for 2 years but came out, volunteered, had a good old time at the park, and only a handful of our students that are currently enrolled in our class came out. So I hear a lot of disgruntled PE students or whatever. Oh yeah, I wish we could go outside. I wish we could go outside. And then when we offered it, nobody took us up on it. So, you know, if you're gonna complain and you want it, then when we offer it, then you guys need to show up. All right. If there's any problems, any concerns, anything, email me. But again, I think we'll get rocking and rolling. We will not have a PE log. We'll start a new one next week. So have a great week, and again, catch me in the classroom or email me if you have any questions or any problems. All right.